I'm Jesse McQuarters, editor of Step Brand Studio, and I'm delighted to be talking with Viq Pervaaz, SVP at New York City Economic Development Corporation. With the world's second largest tech ecosystem and a fast-growing AI workforce, New York City is uniquely positioned at the crossroads of life sciences and advanced tech. The city is investing over $1 billion through a project called LifeSci NYC to create 40,000 new jobs and become a global leader in the life sciences. As a result, NYC is poised to lead in research, discovery, and commercialization in sectors where bioscience and technology converge. Viq, thank you so much for being here.
Jesse, it's always a pleasure to sit down with you. Thank you for having me.
What are the key areas that New York City is investing in through this $1 billion LifeSci program?
I think at the essence and the heart of it, it's a trifecta of infrastructure, innovation, and workforce. In terms of infrastructure, we're talking about wet and dry labs, so traditional wet research and development labs, but dry labs in terms of having ML scientists, AI, which is really the future of how drug and clinical development will progress. In terms of innovation, we're having about $450 million allocated towards driving gene therapy, precision medicine, things that will be how we deliver therapeutics and medicines to patients. The third piece and pillar is around workforce and talent. We've got a great workforce in New York City that's dedicated to the life and health sciences, and we're doubling down on that to make sure that we push that forward and make sure that there's a talent pipeline for all the great innovation that's going to occur here in the city.
Go into some more detail about the advantages that make New York City a thriving hub for the sciences.
We've got 42,000 approximately life sciences ecosystem workers in New York City alone. And we've got a goal to increase that over the next 10 to 15 years based on the investments that we're making. As you mentioned, we're also the second largest global tech ecosystem in the world. And we've got over 25,000 tech-enabled startups. So those are great stats, but what does that mean? What that means is that as we're focused in developing the transformative nature of life and health sciences, you cannot have that conversation or discussion or build out of an ecosystem without the acknowledgement that tech will be a part of it. The third piece that's really interesting in this multidimensional nature of our ecosystem is funding. Our offices actually sit literally down the street from Wall Street. We've got, I think, nearly over $1 billion in annual VC investment into life sciences and biotech companies. So the funding and the access to funders, no better place than New York City. One other dimension that I'd like to speak to is that we're a research hub, and we always have been here in New York City. So 9 premier academic medical centers, one of the most diverse patient populations anywhere in the world. So if you're thinking about clinical trials, if you're thinking about clinical research, it's all here under one roof, and all the different variables come together to meet.
Engaging a diverse and underserved population is key to advancing medicine. What is NYCEDC doing to engage with communities across New York?
We have pulled over 1,000 LifeSci interns through our program, LifeSci NYC internship program. Over 50% are women. Nearly 68% are first-generational college students. We have always had a keen focus here in New York City of how do we serve those that are underserved. One way to do that is education. So that is an effort that has been going on proudly since 2017. And over 50% of those students that go through the internship program stay within the life sciences, and over 50% stay within New York City. So here again, we see this intersectionality of having the ability to have economic impact, but social impact at the same time. And this is definitely going to be a theme and a guiding principle that we follow in the future. Another thing that we do is we support very strongly BioBus, right, which is literally a bus that's outfitted as a lab. And this program is in the Bronx right now. I think it's touched over 36,000 students. And what we want to do is we want to inspire those that traditionally may not have been exposed to science or would not have the opportunity to be exposed to the STEM discipline at a very young age and say, this is how much fun it is, this is how exciting it is, and evoke a spark, right? So it's a predecessor to, far upstream, a predecessor to the internship program. But again, we're thinking about it from the entire value chain, not just thinking about, how do we bridge the gap in clinical trials, which is also equally important.
Well, as I think about your job, it sounds so incredible. One day you're putting on a hard hat and overseeing infrastructure projects. You're riding the biobus and working with kids and science education. What does a typical day for you look like? What keeps you going? And I hear your passion, so just want to give you an opportunity to talk to me about your vision.
The beauty is that there is no typical day because we're hearing about new things. We have our radar and ears to the world. So it's about how do we make it easier for our ecosystem to thrive? And how do we make it easier for those that are curious and interested about all of the exciting and transformative things going on in New York City to come here and experience it? And I think the life sciences and health sciences, ultimately how we're differentiated is that what we do in some approximation will impact a patient. That could be someone's dad. It could be someone themselves. It could be someone's grandmother. And that's a huge responsibility and one that I don't forget. So at the heart of everything we do, it's around economic impact. That's the seat that I sit in. But right there next to it is patient impact, which certainly keeps the job interesting and meaningful.
How can people learn more?
Two ways. There's the edc.nyc website, and then there's LifeSci NYC.
Viq, thank you so much for taking the time to be here.
Oh, pleasure. Thanks, Jesse.